In this video, we will learn how to find out the profit maximizing output level in case of perfect competition and monopoly. The question is, given demand and cost functions is below, show that monopolist produces half the output under perfect competition. We are being given this demand function and this cost function. Okay, so let us first solve for perfect competition. We know in case of perfect competition, and let me write it here. In case of perfect competition, the condition for profit maximization is that we equate price with the marginal cost. Okay, so we are being given the total cost function here. Okay, so what will be the marginal cost? Marginal cost is simply the derivative of the total cost function with respect to output. Okay, so if we differentiate this cost function with respect to q, what will we get? Derivative of a constant is 0, so the derivative of 150 will be 0, and derivative of q in 10q will be 1, so we will be left with 10. So the cost, that is the marginal cost, is equal to 10. So since p is equal to marginal cost, that means price will be also equal to 10 then. Okay, so in case of perfect competition, the price is 10. Now what will be the output that will be produced? Simply we plug p is equal to 10 into the demand function. So we have q is equal to 300 minus twice the value of p, which we calculated as 10. That means in case of perfect competition, the output produced will be equal to 300 minus 20, which comes out to be 280. Okay, now what about monopoly? In case of monopoly, the profit maximizing condition is that we equate the marginal revenue with the marginal cost. Okay, to find out the marginal revenue, first we should know what is the total revenue. Total revenue is equal to price into output. That means first we need to solve the given demand function for p. So this demand function we solve it for p, and let me show it here. So since q is equal to 300 minus 2p minus 2p, if we solve it for p, so we will get 2p is equal to 300 minus q. So 300 minus q, dividing both sides by 2, we will get p is equal to 300 upon 2 is 150. Okay, transposing 2, it will become minus 1 upon 2 q. Okay, so I will write here q. That means total revenue is equal to price into output. So in place of p, we have this demand function 150 minus 1 upon 2 q. To this we multiply with this q. So total revenue will become 150 q minus 1 upon 2 q square. Okay, now what is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is the derivative of total revenue function with respect to output. Okay, now we differentiate this revenue function with respect to q. Derivative of q in 150 is 1, so we are left with 150, and derivative of q square is 2q. So 2, it will become twice q. So 2 and 2 will get cancelled. We will get only q here. This is the marginal revenue here. Now when we equate marginal revenue with marginal cost, so marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost implies marginal revenue is this stuff 150 minus q, and we equate it with the marginal cost which we calculated in the perfect competition, which is 10. When we solve for q, we will get q will be equal to 150 minus 10 is 140. And here we can clearly see that the output produced in monopoly is 140, which is half the output produced in perfect competition, because